Up, and it would help if I turned on the microphone. We are 100% professional here. uh, okay, to go over everything again, since I don't know which button to hit. Um, the live reviews, I want to be able to, I want YouTube to, you're watching it live, okay? Well, it's posted now, so someone now can go in and watch that review. And at the end of the review, I was doing questions and stuff. And I think that's good, but I just want the basic review for everyone to be able to click on, if that makes sense. And then if they have questions, they can post questions in the comment for future. Since we did a live review tonight, we could start this stream and kind of touch base on some of the questions you guys had. There was a question, does it have 500K pots? 500K is usually what manufacturers use with humbuckers. I have not had the rear cover on the guitar off to verify it. Doing the live reviews, I believe that was a little over an hour. So my other reviews, I'm able to chop, edit, speed up things, and I'm able to open up the back cover and look at the electronics and stuff like that. Um, Doing the live review, I'm trying to simplify it a little bit. That doesn't mean the channel won't do those really deep dive videos that we were known for. Just on the lives, we want to kind of mainstream it a little bit and go over just the general stuff, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure, but I would assume it has 500K pots. As far as the push pull, it's a unique like EQ circuit. So it's supposed to tighten up the bottom end, sharpen the highs, and cut the mids. And it's emulating a single coil. That's what it's doing. And I actually think it sounds really good. Okay, it's nice. You don't get all the hum and buzz of the single coil, but you still get the sound. And that goes back to what I've said in the past. If you put a little EQ pedal between your guitar and your amplifier, there's so much you can do with just a simple EQ pedal. You can make your humbucker sound like a single coil. You can thin it out. You can do so much with that EQ before your head. You will be surprised how many professional artists have an EQ in front of their amp. They can shape the signal going into the amp and then use the amp EQ for their color. So, and that's essentially what they're doing here. It's a set EQ. So it's basically the exact same thing. It's processing the signal and altering it to give it that single coil sound. Was there any other questions, honey?
Oh gosh, I can't remember if there was or not.
So I heard from a little birdie in a tree that Birdman did receive the pedal and he has posted a video. So if you guys are interested in the pedal that Birdman received for free for answering a question on the channel, I sent him a pedal because he was the first one to respond. He has posted a video up on it. And the pedal that I sent him was a Joyo American. And I believe it'll be fitting for him. It'll match his style. It's a great little distortion pedal. I think Joyo makes a lot of good stuff. That was one of their winter pedals. If you like a nice crunch and a light 80s distortion sound, that pedal will give it to you. It's called the Joyo American. Another Joyo pedal that I like a lot, and they're hard to find. I know it says Dr. J right here, but Joyo makes the Dr. J pedals. If you can find this pedal, it's a boost and a distortion all in one. Great pedal. I've been using this one more than my TS9 Ibanez, and the Ibanez pedal is kind of a staple. It's just a staple pedal. I think this one has more headroom and a broader sound range. This is a great little pedal. If you can find them, you can check on Amazon or go to the Joyo website. Dr. J Lancelot Distortion. Great pedal. I think this one's like $50, $60. It's still dirt cheap. Great pedal. We're gonna do some more giveaways. I got some stuff up here that we'll do some giveaways on. So I do want to welcome some new people to the group. Steve had brought somebody in. I don't remember which one that one was. Which one?
CD.
Who was it?
CD.
CD?
Yeah.
Yep, he's new in the group.
It's CD Nelson.
Yeah, CD Nelson. So I want to welcome him to the group. Everyone here is a musician, and we're all here to help one another. So post if you have a constructive comment and you think you can help. That's what the chat's for, man. And it's there to have some fun too. But we're all here to learn. I did finally get my picks. And I learned from you guys too. So one of the subscribers sent some picks.
Don't forget Johnny Bean.
And I got my picks. And oh yeah, Johnny Bean actually joined the channel. I've watched his live streams. Probably going on 2 years. Pretty entertaining channel. I like his content, and I noticed that he came in on the live too, and he subscribed. So that's cool. That's a much larger channel than ours. So if you don't know Johnny Bean's content, run over and check out his channel. He does a lot of walkthroughs on Guitar Center. He goes in with a camera and just walks through and talks about the instruments there. But he also does a live stream as well. So check that out. And I think that's it as far as the going. Oh, now I can let the cat out of the bag because I did get a text message from Ted Talks Guitars. He received his Telecaster today. So I would say if you're interested in what happened to the Telecaster that was on the channel, you can go over and check out Ted's channel. I'm sure he'll have some upcoming content with that guitar.
And don't forget to thank Niles for the super chat.
And one last thing. During the live review, we got a $10 super chat from Niles. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That goes into the fund. And right now, what we're doing with the fund, we're buying a guitar. We're going to review the guitar. And then we're giving the guitar away. So if you want to get in on the guitar giveaway, there's only two things that you have to do. One, you have to be a subscriber. You have to be publicly subscribed. I don't know where the button is to make it public, but if you're not publicly subscribed, I can't get on YouTube and verify that you're a subscriber. It doesn't mean that you're not a subscriber. You can be a subscriber, but it doesn't show on my page that you have subscribed, if that makes sense. That's why you have to be publicly subscribed. The next thing you need to do is go to Discord, go to the room that says opt in on guitar giveaway, and just put, if your Discord name is different than your YouTube name, say I'm such and such on YouTube and I want in on the guitar drawing. And that's pretty much all you got to do. The members of the channel, okay, anyone that has given a super chat has contributed to the fund which is buying the guitar. So it's the community buying a guitar for a review and then giving it away. So whoever wins it, you need to thank the people in the chat to your right because they are responsible for it. Their contributions make it possible. Okay. Did anyone have any other questions on the RevStar? All I can tell you guys is it's a good guitar. And it's funny because it really doesn't look like a rock guitar, but the thing just, it's got a sound and it plays nice and the frets on it are super smooth. Every time I pick it up, whether I'm playing clean sounds to it or distorted sounds to it, it just sounds good.
Look, Steve has a good question. He wants to know how would one not be publicly subscribed? He's never noticed an option to change.
You know, Steve, that's why I said I don't know where the button is. So I have no idea. I know when I check, like subscribe, if someone, it'll say this person is publicly subscribed to your channel.
They probably don't have an option. They just hit subscribe and it does it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm putting that out in case there is a difference. The only thing I can do is when you post on the Discord server.
I think they're figuring it out. Pinagore said you have to make all your subscriptions public, and CD said in YouTube you got to go to your settings and the privacy tab.
Right. I know there is a difference because certain people will make a comment and next to their comment, this person is publicly subscribed. And that just means that when I go to subscription page on my channel, there's a list of people. Now that list of people does not match my subs, if that makes sense. So about 60%, I would say, are publicly subscribed. I'd say there's probably 1,200 1,300 publicly subscribed, and the other 900, I don't know who they are or couldn't find out or can't see. Um, I don't want to do that, but I need a way of being able to get a hold of you either through Discord or through YouTube. This is our first time doing it, so there's going to be a huge learning curve. Each time we do a giveaway like this, I'm sure we'll get a little better. And I know I'm friends with other channels that do stuff, so I'm sure we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Other channels have been doing it. We're just taking baby steps. This channel's growing, and we can't be perfect out of the gate, if that makes sense. If you talk to some of the people here, our first live stream, it was fun. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it was a train wreck. The audio quality was bad. I was talking through an instrument mic, an SM57. It sounded like I was in a bean can. We had a streaming laptop camera, a little Logitech camera. The video was grainy. It has come a long way. It really has. YouTube has come a long way as far as me learning it. And the Stream Deck, during the live, it was not working. Okay? So, watch now. I'm going to push this button. Oh, see?
Johnny Bean just came in.
Now it's not working again. If I unplug, I think everyone's heard my computer go beep, beep, beep. I think this cable's going bad. Because if I pop this apart and I unplug it and I plug it back in, it will function. Now watch it, it won't function now that I said that. Alright, so, Stream Deck. Now we're going to push the button. See? It changed screens. Now I'm going to push the button again to the other screen. If you plug it right in, it works. But after 15 minutes, it's just dead. So I think I have a bad cable. And the funny honey said, Johnny Bean, come in. Johnny, welcome to the channel, man. I've watched your channel I've been subscribed to your channel for a long time. Used to come in, and I'm the Kramer guy. I sent you some pictures of my 1986 Kramer Pacer Imperial when you all were doing Kramer time. And I sent it to you, and you were like, you showed a picture of it on your phone on the stream. It was super cool. I liked having the Kramer out. I still have it. I'm never selling my Kramer Pacer Imperial. It's a freaking awesome guitar. And I know your channel, you're all about Kramer, Kramers. And I sent you that photo, and it was cool that you put the photo up on your live stream. I don't know if you remember that. That was probably a year and a half ago, probably now, since you posted that. I haven't gotten any new vintage Kramers. I do have a yellow Beretta on the wall over here. Let me grab my Beretta.
He said he uses 2 Stream Decks. Haha.
Yeah. So it's not very organized, but here's my yellow Beretta. We call it the banana here. And also have the exact same model in the gray. Awesome guitar. Awesome guitar.
He said cool. He likes all kinds of guitars. His first cool guitar was a Kramer.
My first cool guitar was a PV Vandenberg. Even though most people are like, it's a PV. Even though it's a Vandenberg, it's still a PV. And that was in the early 90s. I played 2 PV Nitros, which I still feel are phenomenal instruments. And I had the PV Nitro, and that's what I played out professionally with the band, was those 3 PVs. Great guitars.
Kurt says you have too many USB connections to your computer. You need a powered USB hub to boost the 5 volts.
Yeah, I think that's what's been going on. That bip bip dip has been a USB bug, And I do. I have 50,000 USB cables going in to the door. I got the Yamaha AG08. I've got the Yamaha right here. The little guy, let me switch camera. I got this little guy. That's going in on USB. Of course, 2 cameras. I got too much stuff. And everyone knows my computer is very antiquated. We're getting there, guys. This is one of my small rig GoPros. I have 2 of them. So all the video is shot with these guys and my GoPro 8, which is horrible. And the only issue I've had with the small rig, the GoPros, was overheating. The small rig does help with the aluminum frame if you're having overheating problems. But the best thing you can do is this right here. Let me show you this. This is a power bank. You have to use USB-C to USB-C. Get that battery out of your GoPro, and it will not thermally shut off anymore. The drawback is when you do this, you can no longer use the media mod, okay? Because the media mod takes that over for the mic extensions and stuff. So you can't use the external battery and also an outboard microphone. But it does fix the overheating problem. New microphone. And what we're doing in the future, we'll get a lapel mic, and I'm looking at cameras now. But that's down the road. Don't need to do anything. I think people like the rough grittiness feel that this channel has. I'm just a AutoCAD CNC programmer and a carpenter by trade, a master carpenter. I work on guitars. I have a business, Dominion Fretworks. So we work on guitars at our shop downstairs. So this channel is devoted to reviewing guitars honestly and products based from a musician, me. I'm not a great musician by any means, but I work hard for my money, and I want to share my thoughts and opinions on the products, if that makes sense.
Johnny Bean said, "Great setup."
Yeah, it's a great setup. It's all a small channel needs, if that makes sense. Editing's a little rough. I think the next thing I need to do is I need to update my computer, because it takes literally 12 hours for me to convert a hour-and-a-half video review to YouTube, to that format. You literally, sometimes it's 10, 12 hours. My reviews that I record are usually an hour and a half to 2 hours long. They're just ridiculously long. But that, it's fine. Sometimes we do that, and then sometimes we do what we just did, which was the fast review. So if you haven't been on Discord yet, I need you guys to go over there and log in for the giveaway. And feel free, through the week, just to go in there and hang out. There's always someone there. I was actually there 2 nights this week talking with everybody, so that was a lot of fun. We did some changes in OBS, and we actually got the multi-stream working through Discord. So what I want to do on some of the streams, we're going to have guests come in, and what you guys will see is a split screen with 4 different people. So we're going to start getting guests on the channel. I have not reached out to anybody yet. I don't know if it'll be other channels. The invitation's there. If another channel wants to come on, that's great. I'm thinking more just subscribers.
Johnny's got to go.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in, Johnny. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. And anytime you want to pop in and contribute and be part of the group, you're more than welcome, man. We're just here having fun. That's what it's about, having fun. All right, my little squirrel brain completely lost concept on what I was talking about, but I think that's it. And guys, the crown thing is completely new. The other night, it started doing that, and at the top of chat, it says top fans, and there's a little crown. And I tried everything during the test stream to eliminate it. And if someone knows how, then I'm all ears. But if you don't mind the crown thing, we'll leave it. I think it's kind of neat. It lets me know who number one, number two, and number three is. I don't think there's a number four. So it counts your interaction, and then it grades it. It's a YouTube thing. So, and Johnny's number two. Woo!
Jerry wants to know if the tuners on the RevStar are branded.
I don't think they are. Let me check. They are unbranded tuners. But the tuners feel good. There's absolutely no issues with the tuners on this guitar. Like I said, when I first got the guitar, I didn't care for the plastic tulip type tuner, but it's growing on me. I think it fits the guitar, if that makes sense. It would look kind of strange with the chrome ones. I think it's fitting. It fits the style.
Devastator says he's pretty sure they're Yamaha brand.
Yeah. They don't say Godo. They don't say Grover. They don't. They're just unbranded. So I'm sure Yamaha has contracted somebody to make them for them, but they do not say Yamaha on them. It's a sweet guitar.
CD Nelson says he thinks that under the privacy tab that you can turn off leaderboard participation, but he says he doesn't mind it himself.
Yeah. This channel's still learning. YouTube, something about YouTube. YouTube can't leave anything alone. Every month they're changing something. I get a note on the right of my Manage Videos tab what they've changed. They can't leave anything alone. As soon as you figure it out, they change something. I've never seen a company change more stuff than YouTube. And it's every month they're changing and altering and modifying how you have to do something and how things work. It's insanity. Once you get something that works, why do you have to keep playing with it? But they're always tinkering with it.
CD said that's a great color.
Now, my local music store said the Yamaha rep claims that this yellow is the most popular. It is their best-selling color in the RevStar is this yellow. So I can believe that. A lot of people like it. I like it. Everyone here knows that I kind of like the obnoxious. I kind of like the in-your-face colors, and it is loud. It is loud. It's a loud color, but on a dark stage, it's still going to show up. It's a pretty. I think it's a pretty color.
CD said, just like Microsoft, I do support, and their wins are my job security.
Yeah, Microsoft's the exact same way. They can't leave anything alone, and that's how YouTube does. I mean, it seems like every time I pull up my manager window, there's something new that they've changed, or they want you to notify you that you can no longer do this, that you got to do it this way or that way, and I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that because there's no. When I started the channel, there's no how-to anything from YouTube on how to even set up chapters in your videos. There's just no information whatsoever out there for channels starting to learn how to do chapters, do anything. It's actually kind of crazy. You would think YouTube would have content creators that work for YouTube that would post, this is how you do chapters in YouTube. These are the restrictions for this group or that group. What you can do when you're under 1,000 subs. What you can do when you become monetized. What you can't do. But there's just nothing directly from YouTube. It's all other channels that have figured it out that post, hey, this is how I did that. So I did a lot of YouTube University the first 6 months trying to figure out how to do things. Yeah. So Birdman, I see. I didn't see you earlier, So I assume you're liking the pedal. That's cool. I'm gonna go check out your video. Is it already up, hon? Did you say it was already up?
Yeah, I think it is. He said that you need to.
So I guess after the stream, I'll go check out the pedal video. So I'm looking forward to seeing it and hearing it on your rig. So I kind of want to go over something with you guys, and you guys. That's what the chat's for. I want to kind of go over some thoughts that I have. This channel, we've kind of done the $150 guitar all the way up to a $2,100 guitar, and we're checking fit and finish. We're checking everything on these instruments. It doesn't matter what the price point is. And what I want to say is, can you find a budget guitar that plays well and sounds good? You can. I've had some Fireflies on here. I've had some Grote, believe it or not, that were just great playing guitars. The Leo James, the issue I have with them are just their fret leveling inconsistency. If they get that under control and fix a couple other little QC things they have, I would say that they would be in the ballpark. Right now, at their asking price, they're at the Geo price line. You know, they're asking $399 to $350 to $299 for the new Hurricane on Amazon. At that price point, I can get an Ibanez RG Geo, and it's going to be a great guitar. You know, you can get this guitar for $475. So the regular price on the Hurricane is $399. This is a far superior guitar to the Hurricane. I can already tell you. Better pickups, better tuners, better fit and finish, and 100% better fretwork. So, can you get one? Sure. One of the channel moderators, Mike, just picked up the new Firefly FFMN in purple, and he loves it. Yeah, he said that the frets were good on it, the pickups sound good. His tremolo, I don't know if it's the Floyd one or the other one. He says it holds tune. So I think that guitar is coming in at $250. So with shipping, you're going to be at $3. I have not reviewed it. I haven't had one in my hands. But I do know that they make good guitars. The white, the purple ash Strat, the purple ash Les Paul with the access cut, both of those great instruments at the 229 to 250 mark. And they keep going up. The Les Paul and the Strat used to be 189, and then it was 200, then 209, then 229. They keep going up. At some point, that's why I mentioned Ibanez and Geo and Jackson. There's a Jackson right there at an unbelievable price point. That guitar I paid $267 for. It's a 7-string offset V. Pickups are a little muddy, but it's a 7-string, and it's a name brand. So I think just going and buying a Firefly or buying a Leo James without doing your research, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, if that makes sense. If you have $300 to spend, I'm not saying don't buy them. I'm saying do your research. Try to find a channel that's going to give you honest reviews, because I haven't reviewed them all. I haven't. I can't review them all. But they're hit and miss. And what I was saying earlier, the less you pay for a guitar, the higher the chance of you getting a bad one, because they're not going to inspect that guitar. There's less hand time on it. That doesn't mean if you spend $1,500, you're going to get a great guitar. We just proved that. I just sent an Ibanez PWM 20 back. I liked it. I loved the feel of the tremolo. Once the string stretched out, it held tune good. I liked the sound of the pickups in the guitar. It just had too many little quality control issues at $1,500.
Steve guitar?
I have not had a Tease guitar, and Tease has not reached out to me to review one of their guitars. So I think Tease has certain channels that he likes to work with, and that's fine. Most, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think there's a guitar company that would send this channel an actual guitar to do a full review on. I am too picky and too thorough, and it's not that I'm being hard on the company. I don't dislike any of these companies, but I view it as we work for a living, and I work hard for my money. So whether I spend, $150, $300, $500, 15, whatever it is, I worked hard for that money, and I want to know what I'm getting. Okay.
Detroit Funk says, I tried a Leo James, but it had a rubber neck that bent if you leaned on it too much. Sent that thing back to Amazon instantly.
I haven't had that problem with them. I've had problems with the pickups. Literally, there was nothing. They put this little. It looked like an ink pen spring when you take an ink pen apart. That little cheap spring. They put two of those underneath, and the pickup was just like plop, 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 flopping around. I've had them where it's just awful frets. I've had where the binding through here, where they just sanded through the binding edge, it's not consistent. So-so wiring inside as far as the solder. A lot of cold solder joints are stacked puddled soldering where it didn't get the temperature. Just a lot of little tiny things. And what scares me is each guitar got a little better at something, but then got worse on things that they were good at. So there's kind of no consistency there. That's what scares me the most. But I will say this, I did have two Monsoons. Both of them had shabby fretwork. But those guitars did play well. Even with the low frets and the wacky fret leveling and crowning they did, the guitar did sound good, and I liked playing it. It had a good feel when I played it, and it made you want to play it.
Jerry said, your info is greatly appreciated, Avery. Thank you, and Linnell, for all you do.
Yep, you got to think about the significant other. She helps out a lot.
I just posted I do nothing really, which I hate.
She does. She sits back there. She's like the person that yells questions into me. So that means a lot, and she's supportive. And she's loving enough to allow me to have this hobby. It is a hobby to me. I do not make money professionally any longer with music. I mean, I make a little bit of money on YouTube. I can't make a living doing it. So I do not consider myself a professional musician any longer. I'm just a AutoCAD CNC programmer that does woodworking, and I have a love for guitar. I used to play in live bands, been playing guitar, for 30 some years. Am I a great musician? No, I'm not a great musician, but I love playing, and I strive every day to be better at this little thing, and to learn a new trick and go, wow, I finally figured that out after 20 some years. But I feel that I'm making progress, and I like it so much. I haven't hit, if you play guitar long enough, you'll notice you'll get these like, it's like I'm in a rut. I haven't been in a rut now in quite some time. I feel that even when I'm not making strides, I'm getting a little better and I can notice it. Maybe it's because I'm doing YouTube and I'm going back and I'm listening to my playing, but I haven't been in a rut in about 2.5 years where I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and I just can't get anywhere, or I don't feel that I'm getting better. I can go back and watch a review from 1.5 years ago and listen to my playing. I can hear the difference, the articulation, my picking, even how I speak and present things. I've gotten better. So as I get a little better and a little better and a little better, I hope that, people see that if you pick it up and you play it, you can't get better if you don't pick it up and play it. You just got to pick it up and play it. You don't have to play songs. You don't. Just pick it up, play some chords, write something yourself, noodle on some chord structures, stuff that you don't normally do, some shapes you don't normally play, and watch TV. Just change. And don't look at the fretboard. And when you get that down, go, okay, now I'm gonna sit here and work on little lead ditties. I said all the time, and I'm just practicing how I strike and how far I lift my finger off the fingerboard. And I am awful at that. If you watch me play, I'm lifting my finger way up and I'm flopping it around. You watch a really good guitar player, their fingers are barely coming off those strings. They're not exerting all that energy by lifting and twisting. Their fingers are right there. It's like that is someone that has practiced and practiced and practiced, and they've gotten that muscle memory and how far to lift that finger and how hard to hit and to press. They're not wasting a ton of energy. I'm bad for that, and I practice, and I've been practicing for years, but I just haven't gotten. I'm bad when I get into habit. I'm flicking that finger around. See, there's no need in me lifting that finger up like that. It shouldn't go up that high. It doesn't need to go up that high, but it's become a habit to me, and I'm just wasting energy, and it's slowing me down. How do you break the habit? And back to practice, 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 practice. That's all we can do, and we hope we get better. That's what the fan club in the kitchen's for. Yeah. If I start seeing popcorn flying out of the kitchen at me, I know I suck. But she comes out and tells you, "Oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine." I guess you are your own worst critic. We are harder on ourselves, I think, than we realize. There's a lot of super talented people out there playing guitar, and when you talk to them, like, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that," and you listen to them play, and they're phenomenal musicians. If that makes sense, maybe it's just me. I especially on YouTube, there are just some crazy talented people on YouTube. It's amazing to me. So the speed and how articulate some of these players are. So some of these new styles, it's not for me. I'm not saying the Prolifia style is for me. I would have to relearn guitar, but I can admire the style and understand how difficult it is to do and how precise you have to be to play it. So I admire people that learn that style and try to incorporate some of it into their playing. That is stupid cool. I have not even remotely touched on that style as far as learning it. A roll in the turkey room, Linnell. Johnny White says it's your technique. Yeah, I've got a unique style. I don't know if it's my technique, but I played a lot of originals for a very long time, and when I sit and just putter, I usually don't try to play other people's music. I'm always trying different chord structures and seeing how far I can go out of key and bring it back. So I'm constantly playing stuff like that here at the house, seeing what goes with what. Can I play a fifth? Can I play a seventh? And I'm not the world's best at music theory by any means. Sometimes I feel it messes me up more than it helps me. But sometimes it's nice to look, well, how do I get from here to here, and two different key signatures. So sometimes it's nice to look into that and go, well, I can do this, I can do this. It gives you some options, especially if you don't know. You read something, you might find a chording structure that you really like and go, oh wow, now I get what I was hearing before. They were doing this to go to this new structure. I find that a lot, especially in the last 5 years, picking the instrument back up and really hitting it hard, trying to get back to the guitar player I was 20 years ago. Because I didn't play for about a solid 12 years. I did not pick the instrument up. I was 100% devoted at my other job. And I decided one day that I have all this equipment and I need to play music. And I found out that it was something that I was missing. Um, it was one of those like a tapestry. You pull that thread out. You keep pulling these little things out of your tapestry, and eventually your life falls apart. Because every one of those little threads holds something else together, if that makes sense. So well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to I'm going to eliminate this. And then what are you left with? You are you, and music is what makes us, if that makes sense. So, so much more joy, and just the fact of stress, the stress melter that music gives us. You can come home, if you're stressed out, you can pick this thing up, and instantly it can put you in another mood. And if you're upset, you lost a loved one or something, how this instrument can pull that feeling out of you and make beautiful music. Not that it's a good thing, but where do you think the blues come from? That's what it's about. You want good blues? Well, you're not playing good blues if you're happy. I hate to say it, it's the blues. There's a reason it has that feel. So if you're down in the dumps, your cat passed away or something else, pick this thing up. Pour your heart into it. You might be surprised what can just flow out of you in that scenario. That's what I do. I'm even choked up because everyone knows I've lost. Well, Linnell and I have lost all our parents. Her father was still alive.
Nicholas has to go.
Who is it?
Nicholas?
Oh, Nicholas. I finally got the pics. Just so if you didn't know. This is a new one. And again, I want to thank you, Nicholas, for sending those to me. I feel that it has helped me out tremendously. And thank you for your contribution, man. But what I was saying, we have lost both of our parents in the last really 4 years. I lost my father, then I lost my mother, and then she lost her father. Her mother had passed away some time earlier. But very, very hard last 4 years. And thank the Lord, music was here for me because music really pulled me through some really sad nights on how I was going to live without parents, not having a mother or a father to bounce an idea off of or just even ask them what they're having for dinner. So music was a good outsource for my feelings. I guess that's the end of that rant. Well, if you know this channel, you know I have been talking for about an hour, plus I was talking for over an hour on the live review that we just did. We're going to take a little intermission, and on this channel, intermissions are about 5 minutes. I'm holding up two hands. This would be 10 minutes. 5 minutes long. It lets you hit the restroom, lets you get something to drink, get a sandwich, get some victuals. If you're from Australia, maybe a Vegemite sandwich. Just saying. Get what you need, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Oh, I am just hitting all kinds of Alrighty. If you can't tell, guys, my voice is getting quite hoarse. I've asked the better half to make me some hot chocolate. I was out in the sun all day today, and I was cooking. So, of course, when I got home, the grass was about knee high. So I decided, well, since I'm already fried, what a great idea. I'll cut the grass. So, after spending all day out in the sun putting exterior view rail up, I decided to cut all the yard and do the weed eating. So then I come in and took a shower, and I can feel my shoulders and stuff are just on fire. So I'm hoping tomorrow morning it'll feel better. But I think I got enough sun where I'm definitely going to be having the peeling situation going on. Yeah, Birdman, after the stream's over, I'm going to go. That's usually my time to rewatch the stream. But tonight I'll go over to your channel and check out the video you did on it. I'm hoping that you like the pedal. They are good pedals. That is one of the pedals that I think JoYo needs to promote more. That is a very solid pedal, and there's so many great tones that you can get out of that pedal. And for the price, I think that pedal's like $39, something like that. It is ridiculously cheap for what that pedal does. And like I said, you can get so many different sounds out of it. It's such a good pedal for the well, really, there's nothing I think touches it under $150 for what it does. It's just a great pedal. I got the better half make it to me some hot cocoa. Boy, my throat is sore. All right, I forget. Oh, something else, guys. Last stream you all asked, or wasn't the last stream? It was on Discord. Someone asked if the Ibanez had gotten to Sweetwater and if they had sent out the replacement guitar to me. I checked it at 12 today, and it still said status ready. So they had not shipped the Schecter out. When I checked it at 6 tonight, it said they had received my return and they were sending the Schecter out. It said shipped. So tomorrow's the 4th. I doubt I see it before Monday, if that makes sense, since tomorrow's a holiday. I would be really surprised if it shows up on Sunday. So I'm thinking with the holiday weekend, it's probably going to be at least Monday. But we'll probably do an intro video for Thursday night stream next week with the guitar. We will not be doing a review on that guitar for at least 3 or 4 weeks. I want the guitar to be here a little bit so I can get to know the guitar, get a good feel for it, and then we can do a review on it. Next week, next Thursday, we do have another review. I want to try to stick to that. We're going to do a review every Thursday night. Is going to be review night. Now, since tomorrow is a holiday, I don't have to work tomorrow. I went ahead and did this live. But I think on Thursday nights, if we do a review, that's might be it. We might do a short stream afterwards, but it won't be as long as this one. So we're just trying to find our place in the YouTube community, if that makes sense. So I think Thursday nights work. I think Wednesday nights actually work better. We did a Wednesday night stream on the Ibanez, and it went crazy. So there are certain nights that YouTube is just more active, and it seems like Wednesday night is a more music oriented night for YouTube. So maybe we can change that. We can bring people in on Thursdays and make Thursday even better. So that's the update on the Schecter. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that you guys needed to be made aware of. I don't think so. I think we pretty much got everything covered. So now it becomes open chat. So has anyone seen anything that they want to talk about? The only thing that I've been hearing, across channels and stuff like that is BC Rich. Of course, everyone knows BC Rich went out of business for a couple of years, and they were bought out, and they're making BC Riches again. And you can still get, a custom shop BC Rich. That's what BC Rich was. The BC Riches that everyone woohoos about from the 70s and early 80s, they were all custom made instruments. They did have a production line, but most of the time that was a custom made instrument. Nowadays, a handmade BC Rich is $8,000 to $12,000. That's really expensive. That's an expensive guitar for, that's expensive. Granted, I know it's handmade, but that's salty. Now they do have an import line, and I don't really understand their lines too well, but BC Rich is attempting to re-enter the marketplace. And I've heard mixed reviews on this new gunslinger they make. I don't know. I haven't played one yet, so I'm going to reserve my thoughts. I played with a gentleman for years in a band that played a purple BC Rich Warlock. I ended up putting a Floyd Rose in it for him, routing out the guitar and installing the Floyd Rose. It was a great playing guitar. So I have a lot of history with BC Rich. Not me personally playing it, but knowing other people that play them. So that's the only news that I heard on the guitar front that I thought was interesting. That BC Rich is, there was also this holding company just bought 250 some guitars of theirs, and they're selling them off as B stock or something. So I don't know if they just got a bad batch of guitars. If anyone has any information on what's going on with BC Rich, I would be curious to know what's going on with the company. I think they need to do what Jackson did last year. They need to bring their basic line back to the USA. Still offer their stupid custom shop, their really super high-end stuff, but just make a basic USA line, Warlock, Rich Bitch, all those guitars that we love. Just make the basic USA model for $2,500, $3,000, something like that, USA made, and then have their import line. And I think they're missing that, if that makes sense. They only have their super expensive ones made here, and the rest of them are imports. Joe-Yo Zombie. I had spoke to Joe-Yo twice about reviewing products, and they wanted me to review the wireless products and then something else. And I turned down the wireless and I turned down the other product. And I wanted to review, it was one of the little mini amps. And he said that product wasn't in promotion. So that's where I left it with Joe-Yo. So that doesn't mean that they won't reach out to the channel later on. But my last conversation with them was that the Joe-Yo Zombie and the little mini heads weren't on promotion, and they were not pushing any content on those. They were really wanting to push their wireless. Birdman says, I'm really loving my fake Klon. Which Klon do you have, Birdman? Or fake Klon? Do you have the not a Klon? They say the Bad Monkey pedal sounds exactly like... Yeah, that was kind of funny. That whole Bad Monkey debacle, what was it, about a year ago? Everyone was saying Bad Monkey, and then the prices spiked on them. And then, then it kind of disappeared. It was like a 2-month, just crazy, everyone had to have a Bad Monkey. I've heard a bunch of them. Unless you A-B them, It's really hard to tell one from the other, to be honest with you. Yeah, the gold one with the horsey on it. Yep. I know Behringer has changed theirs, and they've preempted the lawsuit. Look at the new Behringer. They changed it actually says Behringer on it now, and they changed the horse. So it has a sphere on it now. And they took the sword off. So they knew it was coming. So they went ahead and changed the product, put their name on it, changed the horse and the dude a little bit. So worst case scenario now, if they do go to court, they'll only have to pay back royalties on the products that didn't have their name on it, that look like the Klon. So the new one, it's obvious it's not a Klon. But the ones they sold prior, they might be owing some money. That's kind of what it's looking like. When a company does that, that means they realize they crossed the line. They're about to get a lawsuit. They're just doing a preemptive strike, so they're not paying any royalties on the second production run. Exactly, Birdman. They changed the name of it too a little bit. Check out the Behringer BM15M Muff Box. Behringer makes a lot of good products. I remember when they were cheap clones, but they have really, in the last 25 years, Behringer has went from really a bargain basement, use it until it breaks product, to, I mean, they make some nice stuff now. Behringer owns a lot of different companies as well. You might be surprised who Behringer actually owns. Jerry says the little lunchbox amps are sweet. Tube power amp section. Kurt, my Nada Dumble pushes my tube really, really nice. Yeah, the Nada Dumble, is that made by JHS, is it not? I believe that's who makes that. The Nada Dumble. I'm drinking a lot, guys, because my throat is so sore. Mine was $39 plus a tiny bit of shipping and tax, $48 total. That was Birdman. I don't have a Klein clone type pedal. I'm looking up there. I just don't. Right now I'm down to, I have this one, and I have an extreme, oh, that's something. I've got the extreme metal. Forgot about that. So I've got the Joyo Extreme Metal. Now, if you want the twin rectifier sound, this pedal definitely does the twin rectifier sound pretty well. And then the TS9. The TS9 is kind of the staple. But I'll be honest with you, this one I like more than the TS9. And here's a rare one, guys. If you find one of these, this is old school. Manufacturers aren't making anything new, guys. They aren't. So they talk, oh, they put a tube in the pedal. Okay. They did that 25 years ago. Here's proof. Look who it's made by. Seymour Duncan. What's Seymour Duncan making a pedal? This thing is stupid. It has two tubes in it. The problem with it is it's 16 volt. And they did that so they could up the voltage for the tube system. So the power supply, it's hard to put a pedal like this in your pedal board because of the voltage. So you have to have a separate power supply or a power supply that can feed this 16 volts. These are very hard to find. This one was the highest gain model they made. They made 3 different versions, and I don't remember all the versions that they made. But this is a solid steel. Listen to the click. You can drop this thing out of the back of your truck, and it's not gonna. It's solid metal. I used to stomp on this thing, like jump up and down on it. But if you can find one of these guys, these things are stupid. I have not priced one in some time. I don't know what they sell for now. But you've got a high at 1.4 hertz and a low at or kilohertz and a low at 600 hertz. So you can switch it. Anybody seen one of those? I want to say this is 25 years old, if not older. It's definitely got some age on it. I used to use it as a mini preamp. I had a small single 6L6 little power amplifier. Plug my guitar into that, go out of the output right to the power amp to a 112 Celestion Greenback. Worked, no effects, just complete dirt for doing the, I guess it was about 93, 94, doing the whole Nirvana thing. It worked great. Could you get other sounds out of it? Sure. But it was really good at just dirt. It wasn't designed for that, but I found if you run it directly to the power amp to a single 12, it just nailed that whole Seattle sound, if that makes sense. Yeah, Jerry says, I like the extreme pedals. Yeah, I know they made 3 different models. I don't remember what the models are. Birdman says something 999. I don't know. 200 on reverb for that pedal, Avery. That seems cheap. I need to keep it longer. I think it's one of those obscure things. There hasn't been a content creator on YouTube that has said that this thing is the greatest thing since goat cheese. So the price has stayed low on it. If you can find one, guys, before spending $400 or $500 on some of these other tube in a box pedals, pick that thing up. It's the exact same thing. You've got an EQ. You can dial it in. Don't plug it in and go, Yeah, plug it in and play with it. You can get that sound. They're all pretty much the same. The tube is there just coloring the signal. Yeah, Kurt, it's pretty amazing for the price. So that was Steve. So I got to go up. Might just sell my not a Dumble. The Tonix just does the Dumble thing quite nicely. Yeah. I mean, if you've got a Tonix, you can load a bunch of different things on it. I'm going to be honest with you, Steve. It's so close. If you A/B the two, you might hear the difference. But if you're a working musician, I'm telling you, just load your stuff to that Tonix. You'll have all these different amp models right at your foot. What do I say? It's good enough. And this is coming from a guy that has a stupid amp right there. That is a stupid amplifier. That's $10,000 worth of guitar amp. Yeah. You can get stupid when you start buying rack mount equipment, rack mount preamp, rack mount digital signal processor, inline preamps, power amp, a BBE. Then you get your 4-speaker cabinet of your choice, whichever one you like. Before you know it, you've got a tremendous amount of money. A replacement to my Pro Valve amplifier, Ferret makes one. I think it's right at $1,800 for that 6L6 50 watt stereo power amp. A new version of the Art. No one really makes anything.
The
Um,
the unknown writer says, "Why do people hate Behringer pedals so much? They're awesome for a beginner like me."
oh, I don't think, I don't hate Behringer one little bit. I think Behringer makes a heck of a product. Um, they're like any other company. They've got a bunch of different price points, and there's nothing wrong with Behringer. What I said earlier was when 25 years ago when they first come out, they were making cheap clones, and that's what it was. But Behringer has bought a lot of high end companies, okay, and gotten that technology, the schematics, the build knowledge, and they've put that in their company, whether it's through boards, signal processing, pedals, whatever it is they're doing. They have really marketed it and they've made it affordable. That's what upsets most people. They take something that's 5 grand, okay, and then they produce it at less than half the cost. And it's really good. Is it as good as the one for 5 grand? Okay, let's say it's 95% as good. Well, it's less than half the price. And for working musicians like us, that 5%, that's what it's about. Is there a difference? Sure, there's a difference. Is it worth it? And most people just say no. They get the Behringer.
The unknown writer said, "Appreciate you and subscribed."
Oh, thank you so much, man. We're really trying to grow the channel. Anybody that you can tell, that's what it's about. Everyone that unknown writer, everyone that you see in the chat, whether it's Jerry White, Steve Gunner, Devastator, everyone here. I'm just seeing what I see in the chat right there. If you see them on Discord or in here, if you ask them a direct question, they're going to give you an honest answer that is their opinion. And that's what it's about. I don't think anyone's right or wrong. Okay? If a product works for you and it's at your price point, that's what it's about. I mean, Linnell bought this guitar used for $250. I mean, I love this guitar. Since she brought this thing home, I think she's maybe played it once or twice. I haven't called her. I've been hogging it. I mean, I've been hogging this little $250 guitar. I don't. This is an awesome guitar. Granted, it was used, but for $250, great guitar. I don't care if it's the RGA with the quantum pickups. It plays good. It sounds good. It fits, if that makes sense. Is it my best guitar? No. It's my best $250 guitar, I can tell you that right now. I've been playing, since she brought it home, I play that guitar 80% of the time. And that little light bulb goes off, it's like, wait a minute. I got a $250 guitar that I'm playing 80% of the time. That's remarkable. When I brought the RevStar home, the exact same principle. Price point sometimes doesn't matter. Yeah, I've said it on guitars before. I'm not saying that you have to spend $2 grand or $1,500 or $1,000. There's good guitars out there. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find reasonably priced guitars that you don't have to do anything to. Okay? When you get to a certain price point, you can pretty much get anything you want. We were talking about it the other day. We were saying $1,250 to $1,800. In that price range, really, you can pretty much spec anything you want. There's a manufacturer out there that makes it. It's up to you whether or not you spend the money. I bought an Ibanez. I sent it back. I thought for the amount that I spent on it, it just wasn't worth it. You know, I told my Sweetwater rep that. I said my Funny Honey has two sub $500 Ibanez's here that the fit and finish is better on, that play right at that level. So tell me why this guitar is $1,500 with the fit and finish problems. And he's like, no problem, man. Just send the guitar back. And that's I struggled with it. I struggled with it, and I struggled with it, and I struggled with it because I don't have her S model out. I wanted her S model with a tremolo. That's how it all started. Now, all of a sudden, Ibanez just released this week 2 S models with dual humbuckers and the nice bridge. I think they're at, what, 700?
I think so.
Like $700. Half the price that I paid for the PWM. So right there you go. That shoots the PWM and I mean, it was already out of the question before I sent it out, but now that Ibanez has dropped these 2 other S models with quantum pickups, an edge bridge for half the price, it makes the PWM a hard pill to swallow. And if you have a PWM, like I said, I think it played great. Tremolo feels great. I just think there's other products on the Ibanez line that give you more bang for your buck than that one. But if you want that guitar and you like that white finish and you like the tone pickups that are in it, then $1,500 isn't a lot to pay because that's the guitar for you. That's my point. And when I saw it, I wanted the guitar that I picked because it had the real pretty white. It wasn't grayed like the other 2. Sweetwater, they show you the pictures. So I'm like, well, I want this one because it's more white. So I get it. Sometimes you just look at a guitar, the color, whether it's a crackle, whether it's a translucent finish or one of the finishes that changes colors, and you're like, I just have to have it. And sometimes we'll pay that $200 or $300 or $400 more for a guitar just because it has something that we really like, whether it's a color or something unique on the headstock or a certain kind of pickup configuration, whatever it is, it's something that you want and only that guitar may have. Yeah, at that point, buy it. Because if you want that and you buy something else, you're always going to go, I should have just went ahead and got the guitar I wanted. And you can ask me how I know that. Because I tried for a long time. Oh, I'm only going to spend $500. This guitar is close enough. I've got a Firefly Les Paul with P90s over there. I want a Les Paul with P90s. I want a Les Paul with P90s. Does that scratch the itch? I guess. But it's not an Epiphone. It's not a Gibson. I want an Epiphone or a Gibson Les Paul with nice P90s. Would it play any better? I don't know, maybe a little bit. I don't know, a little bit. And I'm going to pay 3 times the price or 4 times, or in the Gibson, 10 times the price. It's not that. It's just, if I had the money, I'd have the Gibson because I want a Gibson Les Paul with P90s. But that's okay. I'm a working man. I get it. I'll get the Epiphone. And these new Epiphones are inspired by Gibson. They got the nice headstock on them now. They got the better arch top. Epiphone has really stepped up their game. Would I buy an Epiphone with P90s for $1,200? Darn right I would. Darn right. That's less than half the price of the Gibson. And from what I understand, the new Epiphone, the one model is a solid mahogany body. No piece, one piece. Their other ones are 2-piece. So they've even eliminated some of that. They've went to a 2-piece and a 1-piece on some of the models. Okay, the only other thing I can think is the Gibson uses a true 1/4 inch thick maple cap. Okay, the Epiphone's a veneer. Okay, is that 1 1/4 inch cap worth another $2 grand or $2,500? Because you get the Epiphone for 1,200, a Les Paul Standard or Studio or whatever the nice one, they're like $3,200 to $3,600 now. And the Epiphones are coming with Gibson pickups now. Uh, so it's a Gibson made overseas. Full size pots. It has the Gibson pickups. I would do the Epiphone all day long. And I have no issues. I've got an Epiphone Alex license model, signature model. That is a stupid good guitar. I don't play it because it's too pretty. I don't want to put a scratch on it. I know that's sad. You got, it's like, well, why have it if you can't play it? I do bring it out and play it, but I'm very careful when I bring that guitar out. It is just a freaking beautiful guitar. Everyone probably has a guitar like that. That's just your baby, and you don't want to put a scratch on your baby. That's my Epiphone. People are like, oh, it's an Epiphone. To me, that's the nicest guitar I own. As far as the finish, the fit and finish, the general sound of that guitar, the way the whammy bar works, it's a solid guitar. It's a working man's guitar. You can take it does all. It's got coil split, phase switching. It is stupid how good the guitar is. And the top finish, it's got a quilted maple top, and it shifts. It's a beautiful guitar. And then the red with I'm not a gold fan, but it does have gold hardware, and I kind of like the gold hardware on it. I know I'm raving about an Epiphone, but that's my baby. That's that, and I've got a Kramer Pacer Imperial. It's an '86. It's in mint condition. That's another one of my babies. My third baby would be, I have a PV Nitro, a 1988 PV Nitro passive humbucker single that is mint. There's not a scratch on it. The guitar has probably been played maybe 30 times. It was bought as a backup guitar. It has the Killer 2700, the bridge that everybody wants. The best bridge that was ever made, period, is on that guitar. And it's mint. And it's going to stay mint. I just open the case once a year. They claim you should do it every 6 months. Just open the case out, let it breathe for a little bit. Open the case up, get it out, let it air out for a little bit, put it back in its case, and that's where it lives. Why have it then? My Vandenberg and my Active Nitro were my 3 guitars that I played out live with, and that particular Nitro was the backup, so it never got used because the PVs just stayed in tune. They were that dependable. Very rarely did I ever break a string on stage or have a catastrophic failure. I always had the Vandenberg to back up on, and I can only think of maybe 1 or 2 times that both guitars something happened to that I had to reach for that one and actually play it. So everyone's got a guitar that they just go, that's my baby. Yeah, if y'all want to post what your baby is, everyone's got one. I don't care if it's a Firefly or a K or a Gibson or a Shure or whatever it may be. So everyone's got something that they just bond with and say it doesn't even have to be mint. It can be just an old, tired, beat up guitar. My Vandenberg, it's a baby to me too, but that guitar is beat up, just like my Nitro. There's not 1 square inch of that guitar that doesn't have a dent, a scratch, or a chunk missing out of it. It's been well loved. How many you got, CD? Even had the open book. Yeah, right, Jerry. They even put the nice headstock on the new Epiphone. The new Epiphones, man, are just. If you have not played an Epiphone in the last 3 or 4 years, do yourself a favor. Go down to the store and just pick a couple of them up. They still make the $200 Les Paul. They do. They still make a $200 Les Paul. Epiphone does. It's like $229, all the way up to about $1,700. Go in and pick them up. They've got a nice. It's not like you pick up the $200 one. You can't tell the difference between that and the $600 one. The pricing makes sense. If I pick up the $200 one, I'm like, okay, it's a $200 guitar. If I pick up the $500 one, I'm like, okay, this sounds better. It feels better. The paint looks a little nicer on it. I pick up the $1,100 one. Oh, okay. I've got better hardware on this one. The end dressings are a little better. It's got a prettier top. You pick up the top of the line. Oh, I got coil splits now. I got a veneer top. The finish works a little better. Got, Grover tuning keys. You got all the high-end appointments without the price. So go play one. Epiphone's really stepped up their game. My baby is probably my late 80s Squier. Heavy metal super strat made in Korea. Those Squiers were claimed to be some of the best Squiers made, C.D. Nelson, just so you know. I have, what is that thing, an N84? It's a Squier custom shop. Yes, Squier did have a custom shop guitar. It operated for about 2 years, Squier Custom Shop. It is a Squier Super Strat with a set neck. And it's an M80, I believe is what it is. It is stupid nice. And that guitar is mint. I bought it from the person that had a music store. And they were just too expensive. They didn't sell. And when he closed down the music store, that was one of the instruments he took home. And it sat in the case all these years, and I picked it up about 2 years ago. It's mint. Beautiful instrument, Squier. If you don't know what it is, go type in Squier M80. Just great guitar. Plays great, thin neck, set neck, a lot of resonance. Great guitar. Mine is 1980. This is Steve. 1980 Gibson. I guess that's a Sunex 180. But lately I reached for my Schecter. I'm hoping that's what I'll be doing when my new Schecter comes. I'm like, yeah, Schecter time. That's what I want. I like my EPI Classic LP Worn Ebony. Yep. See? Epiphone. Unknown Rider, you all are making me realize I don't need to spend a ton to have a great guitar. You don't, Unknown Rider. You don't. The difference is really, even in the $400 to $500 range, there are great guitars out there. Are every one of them great? No. Go to your store. Just because you pick up this Squier or this Epiphone or this LTD, don't say it's a bad guitar. Go somewhere else and play another one. Okay? Never count one out, because there's always good and bad, and whether it's a Gibson, I don't care who makes it. There's always the apples and the rotten grapes. So just go and look. You can find great guitars at decent prices. The Revstar here, this Ibanez, another great Squier right here. Now they just had a price increase on this, but I paid $329 for this Squier. This is a stupid good guitar. This is the Nashville Strat. Love this guitar. This guitar plays great. I haven't picked this guitar up in a month, and listen, it's in tune. It's in tune. It's been hanging on the wall. I have $800 guitars that hang on the wall for 2 weeks and they go out of tune. This thing's been on the wall for over a month. I haven't picked it up. It's in tune. That's crazy. Now, I'm not a chicken picker, just so you know. Little Al. Little out right there. But it's been on the wall for a month. Stupid good guitar. Now that's the high gain channel. Let's switch it over to lead. Go over to clean. And it has a, again, push pull that adds EQ. It's got that Strat sound. And I dropped my pick. That's okay. My picks came in, so we're just gonna steal another pick out of the package. I will have to reclaim that pick at a later date. Now, Nicholas sent me that pick over a month ago, and I've been babying it. Now that I got a package, I'll lose them all but one in less than a week. And if you watch the last review, the Yamaha has a much fuller sound. That's that humbucker. You can tell this is single coil. Let's go to our second position. I mean, it's just a good sound. How can you? Good sounding guitar for $325. up to our fourth position. Up to our fifth position. I mean, it's not something that kind of music, I like playing it. It's not something I play much. But when I want to play that kind of music, I've got this guitar, I've got a hollow body. Great sounding guitar, guys. There's nothing wrong with Squier. I picked this up. This guitar went up $100 in less than 8 months. It is now up to $429. Fender has done so many price increases over the last year and a half. I don't know what they're thinking. I know they've got a new bullet line out, and Squier is trying to fill that 400 to I don't know, but they've done price increases across the board. This guitar was $329, now it's $429. But you do not have to spend a tremendous amount of money to get a decent instrument. You really don't. Just go out, shop, do your research, and buy. If you can, support your local music store. That guitar I just played came from Shenandoah Music. That's my local store. My Revstar right here, that came from Shenandoah Music. This used instrument that Linnell got, this one right here, Shenandoah Music. Go look at the used aisle. When you go in the music store, shoot right to that used aisle. You will find some deals, especially in your local stores. I'm not saying Guitar Center and some of your bigger ones don't have them, but your smaller store, when they do trade-ins, you can get some really good deals. And again, another shout out to Shenandoah Music. They have treated me so well over the years. They really have. Support your local music store. That's the big key on that. Practicing themselves out of business if they don't wake up. Yeah, pricing. Yeah, exactly, Birdman. But you also got to think Fender has a different approach. Gibson, all Gibsons are USA made. So that leaves Epiphone to cover the 200 all the way up to $2,000 price range. Squire doesn't have that luxury because Fender is, you can buy the made in Mexico, made in Indonesia, made in Japan, made in America, and I'm not too sure if they have a made in China product or not, or a made in Korea, but they've been making guitars in Indonesia for at least 10 years. I have a Fender FMT, great guitar. Been making that product in Indonesia for at least 10 years. So people talk about the Fender standard and everyone's upset. Oh, it's made in Indonesia. Fender's been making guitars branded with the Fender name in Indonesia for years. This wasn't something new. That's where the FMT's been made. So Squire's in a unique position. They have to stay under the Fender import line and the Mexican line, if that makes sense. So they don't have the latitude that Epiphone has. It's kind of strange. Fender had a completely different approach to it than what Gibson had. I kind of like the Gibson structure better. When you look at a Gibson, made in America. When you look at a Fender, you don't have a clue where it's made. You just don't. I kind of like the dry cut Gibson. Yep, Gibson, made in America. It's Epiphone. It could be China, could be Korea, could be Indonesia. It's depending on wherever that particular run was made. I don't know. Unknown writer, do you still have the first guitar you ever played with? No, my father bought me an acoustic from Sears, and the action height was, it was really high. That was the first guitar I ever got, and the first real guitar my parents bought me, I wish I still had. It was an Ibanez Roadstar 2. It was about an 82 model. I think it was either 81 or 82 model, something like that. I wish I still had that. Just for sentimental reasons. And I've seen a couple of them on Reverb, and they go for about the $550 price mark. So maybe one day I'll get another one, just to have to remember what. I mean, it wouldn't be the guitar they gave me, but it would at least remind me of that, if that makes sense. My first was a cheap CBS era Fender acoustic that I accidentally sanded a hole in. Okay. The CBS era stuff gets a lot of hammering on. I don't know. Was it really that bad? The CBS era? People talked about the Gibson era. What era was that? The early 70s? People poo-pooed on the Gibson 70s for many years. Now they're becoming valuable. I forget what that era is called on the Gibson, but for years people, it's a 70s Gibson, it'll never be worth anything. That's a blah, blah, blah era. Now they're starting to go for stupid money. So I think there'll be a time when people just wake up and go, there was nothing wrong with the CBS era stuff. And it'll probably be worth more money because people abused it, beat it up, and threw it away because, it's just a CBS era, don't worry about it. So there'll be less examples, less good examples of the CBS era stuff, and that's going to make it worth more money. That, just my little squirrel brain thinking, that's kind of what I'm thinking. My first was a Mayfair acoustic, mid-70s. Yes, I'm that old. Ha! Oh, that's too funny. Oh. C.D. Nelson, Avery. I'm in my first electric was a purple Roadstar 2. Loved that. And stupidly traded. Yeah, I sold mine for, I think, $200. Probably in like 94 $4.95. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Mine had that real big floating bridge on it. I mean, it stayed in tune. It was huge, but it was mine was SSS, single coil, three single coils. Great guitar. Loved that guitar. It was like a black, midnight blue black color. Great guitar. My Squire Gilmore Tribute has a big headstock. The Squires with the big headstock usually means it's modeled after the 70 eras Fender. That's when Fender had the big, monstrous headstock. Crappy Harmony Strat, Steve. Ha! I don't have it anymore. Usually, our first guitars, they were pretty rough. Our parents, they want to see if you're going to stick with it. What they don't realize when they give you a really cheap guitar like that, you're not going to enjoy playing it. It's going to be too hard to play and you don't stick with it. That kind of rooted us out. That's what's so great about nowadays. You can buy guitars, $200, $300. It may not have the greatest pickups in it, but they all play pretty good. You can buy your son a Firefly. They got that Telecaster right now on the site for $199. The Mad Cat. That is a stupid nice guitar for $199. Give that to him, and that's a good playing guitar for $199. I could only dreamed of that when I was young. My father, I think, paid $600 for that Ibanez Roadstar. Bought it new. That was an expense. Well, it wasn't expensive compared to Gibson. See, it was half the price of a Gibson. So you got to remember that. It's half the price. I'm coating my throat. Okay, guys. With the live review and this review, we've streamed over 3 hours tonight. My voice is so sore I can't even explain. I want to thank every new subscriber. If you're still in the chat, thank you for subscribing. That means a lot to us. It really does. When I see a subscriber count go up, it lets me know that I'm doing what needs to be done, and that you guys like it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And if you're new here, at the end of every stream, we do 5 minutes where I don't chat. It just goes to a countdown window, and everyone can finish their conversations up in the chat. That way the stream just doesn't end. You're like, oh, I meant to ask what's his name this, or I couldn't finish my thought. So it's something I started and it's just kind of caught on. So we're going to go to our 5-minute ending chat or viewer chat screen. And if you're new here, if you noticed, you do not have to be a subscriber to participate. I don't believe that's right. How do you know you're going to fit in and you're going to want to come back unless you can chat? So forcing someone to subscribe to be able to just to come in and chat and hang out, I think it's kind of BS. Come in, chat, hang out, have fun. Go watch some of the other videos and other stuff that the channel does. And hopefully I've earned your subscription. You're going to hit the subscribe button and you can come back and join in. And if you don't know, we have a Discord server. And on that Discord server, we have a guitar giveaway. So you need to go to the guitar giveaway room and put your name there. And that'll enter you in the guitar giveaway. The only restriction is you have to be publicly subscribed to the channel. And you have to log on to the Discord and put your name in there, because that's how Devastator's keeping track of who is entered to win the guitar. And all the super chats from every live stream goes into a pot after YouTube takes their 30%, and that money has bought the instrument.
So you need to tell the unknown writer that there's no need to apologize. He said he was apologizing for beginner questions.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. No, there is no such thing as a stupid question. The only thing that I regret is if you have a question you don't ask. Because everyone that you see on the right has knowledge. They're musicians. We're all musicians here. And don't look at it as right and wrong answers, man. You know, just because something may work for Steve, may not work for me. Something I do may not work with Devastator. So go in, ask your question, and each person will probably ask you what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish, and you're going to get good answers from working musicians, people that play and love the instrument. That's what it's about. There is no such thing as a stupid question, man. Trust me. I learned just as much from you guys as you guys learn from me, and vice versa. People in the chat and back and forth. That's what it's about. So no apologies. We do have some rules here. We try to always be nice to one another, and friends always have arguments. But if you're having an argument, remember that this is a family-oriented channel. A lot of people have kids here. It's up on their TV. So we try to be polite and respectful to others and treat everyone the way you want to be treated. And that's really the only rule. We've got a couple, if you noticed, a lot of channels have a ton of moderators. We don't have that here. I don't want a ton of moderators. Okay? We shouldn't have to police the chat. We're all big boys. We can have fun and respect one another, and I think that's what we've got here. We've got a good group of people, and that's what it's about. But this is our 5-minute window, and if I hit the wrong button, it will eventually get to the right screen. But I played around with my Discord so much because I was trying to get my little stream deck working. And I can, let me see here. I got that button on here. End scene for Thursday. I'm going to push it. And of course, does nothing. Look. Now watch, guys. I'm going to unplug it. This is what's crazy. I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to plug it back in. And how much you want to bet we'll go to the Thursday night end screen window.